we interrupt the internet with breaking news.
This just in, a baby monkey is working through some social stuff with better coping skills than most adults. New York built a giant pigeon because subtlety has left the city completely. Bonobos are apparently not peaceful. They just had better PR. Good evening, everybody, unless you're watching this in the morning, in which case, I'm sorry to your eggs. Welcome to Bob vs. the News, the only show where I step into the ring against the headlines and immediately realize the headlines trained for this. I came in with confidence, the news came in with a giant pigeon and anger problems. A baby macaque named Punch went viral for clinging to a stuffed orangutan, and now the whole internet is emotionally invested in his social life. This poor little guy had a plush orangutan for comfort, which means he's already handling stress better than half the adults I know. And of course, the internet saw him and instantly adopted him. The internet loves doing that. Protect this baby at all costs. You couldn't protect your own screen time, but suddenly you're monkey HR. The zoo had to clarify that Punch is doing okay and gradually socializing, which is great because for a minute it sounded less like wildlife management and more like a very tiny office onboarding process. Honestly, Punch isn't a monkey story. That's a first day at a new job story. He's standing there hugging one safe object like, I'm going to listen more than I speak. Let's go to the scoreboard before I ask where to buy my own emotional support orangutan. Early round lead for the News. Bob landed one clean jab, but Punch came in with pathos, plush support, and devastating likability. New York installed a giant pigeon sculpture because apparently the city looked at all its existing problems and said, needs more bird. Only New York could make a pigeon bigger and somehow make it feel more honest. Because, let's be fair, pigeons already act gigantic. They walk around like they own the block, the crosswalk, and 3 pending lawsuits. This sculpture is basically the city admitting who has really been in charge the whole time. Not the mayor, not the police, not the transit authority. A pigeon with chest confidence and no respect for personal space. And the thing I love most is that somebody approved this in a meeting. There was a room full of adults with salaries who looked at a giant pigeon plan and said, yes, this represents us. That's not public art. That's a confession. Also, once you make a pigeon that big, it stops being a bird and becomes a minor god. Tourists aren't visiting a sculpture. They're paying tribute to the patron saint of dropped fries. And now, I'm supposed to believe this is for culture? No. This is a warning from the city itself. You live under us now. Somewhere, Punch the monkey is looking at that statue and thinking, finally, someone else with social anxiety. Let's check the damage. We are tied after 2. Bob roared back in the main event, exposing the pigeon power structure and landing a huge combination of municipal nonsense. A new study suggests bonobos may not be the peaceful little hippies we were told they are. Excuse me? Bonobos were the one species we all agreed to use as emotional backup. For years we talked about them like they were the chill cousin of the ape world, the artisan coffee apes, the let's process this in a circle primates. And now science comes in like, actually no, they also get aggressive. This is a betrayal at a species level. You know what this is? A rebrand collapse. Bonobos were out here living off vibes, and now the data dropped. And the detail that females in bonobo groups are often aggressive toward males. Oh, so this isn't random chaos? This is organized chaos? This is not a fight. This is a management structure. Chimp aggression feels like a bar fight. Bonobo aggression sounds like getting called into a meeting you thought was optional. At this point, I don't want any more animal studies. Every time science looks closer, another creature turns out to have workplace drama. I survived that round somehow. Score before the bonobos send feedback forms. What a swing round. Bob fought bravely, but the news edges ahead after science ripped the halo off bonobos and turned peace into a paperwork dispute. Here comes 3 quick extra hits from reality, because apparently the bell means nothing now. Ancient Romans may have used human excrement in medicine, proving history was not elegant, it was just unsupervised. Dinosaur fossils in Brazil revealed a new giant species, because the planet apparently still has expansion packs. A big shin bone in New Mexico belonged to a close kin of T-Rex, which means even its cousins were built like jump scares. And the news widens the lead. Ancient filth, surprise dinosaurs, and one oversized murder leg send Bob stumbling into the late rounds. What we learned today. Never underestimate a monkey with a plush support system. New York will eventually build a monument to anything that ignores traffic laws. And if science says an animal is peaceful, wait 2 weeks. That's the fight. Bob made it competitive, but the news had too much depth, too much weirdness, and absolutely brutal late push from history, birds, and angry apes. Until next time, good night, stay weird, and if a giant pigeon asks for tribute, just give it fries.